If you go to the end of the road, past Colin's house, on the left, you will see a field with some old fruit trees in it. A little house used to be there, where a man called Davis lived. He was a very quiet man who seemed to have enough money to live on.
He didn't work on the farms, but he always went to town on market days.
One day, a young man came back from market with him.
He lived with Mr. Davis, and people wondered what he really did there.
They suspected the two men were practicing magic, plotting something terrible. Once a month, when the moon was full, they went up to a place on the hill where piles of old stones and rocks lay.
And they stayed up there all night.
Someone once asked Mr. Davis,
"Why do you go to such a dark, lonely place in the middle of the night?"
I love old places. They remind me of the past.
"And the air is beautiful on a summer's night. You can see all the countryside for miles around in the moonlight."
But Mr. Davis's young friend interrupted rudely.
We don't want other people near us. We just want to talk to each other.
Mr. Davis seemed annoyed at his young friend's rudeness. And people say there are bodies under those old stones, Karen. The bodies of dead soldiers. Farmers sometimes find old bones and pots. I'd like to know how those people lived, who their gods were.
I think they probably practiced magic.
Then, one morning in September, something terrible happened.
A farm worker had to go up to the top of the hill, to the woods, very early, when it was still dark.
In the distance, he saw a shape that looked like a man in the early morning fog.
As he came nearer, he saw that it was a man.
It was Mr. Davis's friend, dead, hanging from a tree.
Near his feet was a knife, covered in blood.
The poor farm worker was terrified and ran back down the hill to the village. He woke up some of the villagers to tell them about the terrible sight.
And some men went back up the hill with a horse to bring down the body.
They also immediately sent a young boy to Mr. Davis's house to see if he was at home.
Because of course, they suspected that he was the murderer.
When they carefully brought the young man down from the tree,
They were surprised to see that the clothes he was wearing were all black.
Like the clothes that Vickers used to wear many centuries ago.
when the men's horse came near the tree and the dead young man, it screamed and tried to run away.
But the men were able to hold it, and they finally got back to the village with the covered figure across the terrified horse's back.
In the village, they found the young boy standing in the main street, with several women standing around him.
He was as white as paper and would not say a word.
When the men tried to move on towards Mr. Davis's house, the horse again became very frightened.
It stopped in the road and would not move.
They carried the young man's body to Mr. Davison's house, and when they opened the door,
There, on the long kitchen table, was the body of Mr. Davis.
His chest was cut open from top to bottom, and his heart was gone. It was an awful sight.
The men ran outside for some fresh air, and the smell of death in that room was so terrible.
later, they put the young man's body next to Mr. Davis's and looked carefully around the house. In one of the cupboards, they found a small green bottle of strong medicine used to put people to sleep. I think the young man gave Mr. Davis some of this to put him to sleep.
Then he killed him. Goodness knows why. Perhaps he needed Davis's heart for his magic.
The villagers decided the two dead men could not lie in the church graveyard.
They never came to church. They did not believe in God.
They believed in unnatural things, in magic.
Later, perhaps filled with regret, he went up the hill and killed himself.
So 12 men covered the two bodies in black and took them outside the village. There they dug a big hole, threw the bodies inside, and covered them with stones.
People say fat black flies fed on the blood there. Even today, horses refuse to go near that place where a strange light appears.
One day later, people found a pool of blood across the road. They washed the blood away, but the flies rose into the air like a dark cloud.
The flies flew straight toward Mr. Davis's house.
For a long time, people said they saw the two men standing there at night.
Now only the flies live there. Perhaps only they know why the men played with magic and died. Only the flies remain now. Perhaps they are the only ones who know the truth.